That was about like I thought it would be. Agonizing, tough, hard fought. So well coached. I told our team before the game, I said it's a it's a team built to win championships and to win. And there's some teams you play that they just lay down when things get hard, or their expectations not, maybe not to come in here and win. That one is. That team's wired to do that. And it was good. I mean, a good college basketball game. Good for us. Special night for Merck. Wow, it's amazing when you get lost in the game and you play to win. I think he would tell you that I've been on him pretty good for a couple of days about his performance rebounding. I think he had an 18% go rate in the Tech game, and that was not very good, awful, and especially for a guy that was coming off some pretty good rebounding games. I think he took that personal. He likes to win. He knows that's what you do. I thought it was just dominant. Other than a couple silly turnovers he had, I thought it was just a dominant performance. I thought Keaton was spectacular as well, especially early, kept us afloat. And those two guys were. Z's been fighting a little knee swelling, and we knew it was going to be hit or miss with him tonight. And then I thought Jake and Ben came in off the bench and really made some nice hustle plays, did some things to get us going. But I told the team afterwards, winning's got a lot of different looks, and it's everything we try to do in this program is to win when the ball doesn't go in, and we were 40% almost all night. Give them credit, but we did two things. Especially on that end, there were actually three. We rebounded, we got to the foul line, and then we guarded without fouling and giving them easy ones. So we're growing, we're getting better, and it was a great win against a good basketball team, especially coming off, the Tech win. There was a lot of motion in that game.
Coach, those two freshmen, David and Keaton, are showing to be matchup problems. What attributes and skill sets can contribute to that?
Yeah, there's nothing they really can't do. Shoot it, dribble it, pass it, and it's where it all starts, is there. And then, it's the essence of positional size. I thought David, first half, I thought passed up 3 or 4 opportunities to score the ball when he had one-on-one coverage. He wears us out in practice doing that. I thought he just trying to get guys going and be too unselfish. But I just thought they got lost in the game tonight, and then their skill set just took over. And it's not very rare you see two freshmen, maybe one, but have two that just become that dominant, and they were that tonight.
Dobbin just did something even Kobe Coburn never did, 20 and 20, 21 rebounds like that. What's prepared him for this, bro? Was his way wired, or what is it?
Yeah, he's wired different now, and like I said, I challenged him pretty good this week in practice, and he's better than that, and he's a young man who strives for greatness. He doesn't settle, and he's maybe Io. Competitive, cheat you, fight you, do whatever to win. He's like that, and those are pretty good traits. And tonight it was just okay. I'm going to listen to my coach, and he did.
Brad Keaton had 11 free throws tonight. far away leads the team in free throw attempts so far this year. Is that his ability to play through contact something you saw, or is he surprised by that?
No, it's something we knew he could do. You know, he's crafty. He's got a great change of pace. He's got really good size. He's got the ability to get it up there with either hand. I actually sent some clips in from the Tech game on him because I thought there's one play he got tripped, another one he got his arm just knocked off on a 3-point shot. I thought there were 3 or 4 that he didn't get called. But you know, when you stick your nose in there, a lot of good things happen. And he's fearless and he's got great patience in the paint and then really, you know, both he and Mark have great footwork.
Keaton doesn't look like he gets particularly sped up very often, and
Uh-uh.
for a freshman, why is that? What is it about him that doesn't allow him to do that?
If I figure that out, I'm going to write the book or the 2 pages or whatever it takes that defines that. It's a blessing. It's God given. I think it's genetics. I think it's you know, an upbringing. I think it's really good coaching. You know, as a former player back in the day, I know it's uncomfortable sometimes when you see this, and he's becoming a target for people, and he just doesn't get sped up, and it's a real gift.
Rare?
Very rare. I mean, there's not many that do that and can do that. It usually takes a while, and he's learning a new system, a new team. He's, you know, and he's just handling it with great poise.
Coach, they rolled out some zone defense. I know you expected that going into the game, and I know you didn't have a great night shooting, but how do you think you handled that just from an execution standpoint?
Really good. We got every shot we probably wanted, and then most importantly, I thought we did what you had to do against any zone, and that's rebounded when you do miss it. But we had a couple possessions in the first half where we were slow recognizing it, so we played into a shorter clock and maybe didn't get great looks. But for the most part, you know, our numbers last 2 years have been off the chart through zone, and I thought that we got pretty good shots tonight.
Coach, just one for me over here. Obviously, it's just finished up a really big week. You have Alabama at the United Center coming up in a couple of days. Just what challenges do they present overall? What can you kind of preview about them briefly?
Well, I watched a little bit of their game last night, and you know, it's always concerning when you see somebody make 16 of 18 threes, or I don't know, they took 44 of them. Purdue did a fantastic job of not letting them get them back. I think they got 17% of their misses back, which if you don't let them go chase their misses. But I know this. I haven't dove deep into them at all. I just watched the game. I know that backcourt is really, really good, and maybe it's one of the best in the country. And we'll have to be very dialed in. But we'll start working on that one later tonight.
Sure. Thank you.
Brett, I'm going to pepper you here for a second. Z, just how's he feeling, and what's kind of his status right now?
Yeah, I don't even know. He had a surgery back in, I don't know, when he was 16 or 17 years old. And every now and then it was a cartilage deal, and just kind of got a little swollen yesterday and is really sore. So we were able to manage that anyway, and you know, when it sets, it gets sore. So yeah.
Did you plan on playing Mahalo tonight, or was he available?
No, I need him to get through practice. I think it's just all the process of you got to see him do it. You know, he's doing some really good things in practice. That getting him a couple times of just suiting up and going through the pregame warm-up stuff is fine. And then it's the 5-on-5. You know, that it gets aggravated. It's always the day after, or even if he's set a little bit, that it gets tight. So we're trying to watch that and be careful with it. I'm not going to try to rush him back. He was really good in practice yesterday when he was in. Brandon was the same way. Brandon's got a pretty good ankle You know, it's pretty black and blue still. He's very tough. He's gotten it up. And I just thought that, you know, probably could have played him tonight. But, you know, a few extra days sure won't hurt him either of rest and recovery. Try to get a little closer to 100%, you know, with that. And then, you know, Tommy's moving around now, so that's a good thing.
Joe.
I assume that's where you were going with
That was
all
my
this.
next one, yes, we appreciate you.
Brad, you guys scored 84 and shot 37%. I mean, what does that tell you about what this offense can ultimately be?
Yeah, you can't worry about percentages all the time. I think that there's a lot of ways to score it. And free throw line, offensive rebounding, all those things allow you to go do that. Yeah, we like I said, you've heard me say it a million times. That's what we're trying to prepare for here, is when it's not very pretty. And how do we still come out? I thought defensively we did some really good things tonight. Made things a little difficult on some of their key guys, but you know, takes on a lot of different. You wear a lot of different hats when you win, and I thought tonight was one that we hadn't worn yet. So it was nice to do it.
I mean, what was David's maybe reaction this week in practice to challenging him after Texas Tech?
He just gets angry at me and screams and cusses and Serbian, and I scream at him some more. And just competitor. He's just a really good competitor, and it's all in a really good way. And you know, he was very dialed in. He was very aggressive on the glass in practice, and he was. It carried over. You know, as coaches have the old cliche, you know, you play how you practice, and he practiced that way. He had a great couple days of practice.
Brad, Andre started the game really strong, seemed like he kind of ran out of gas later as the game progressed. Is that maybe a physical hangover from the extra minutes he got on Tuesday, or?
Absolutely, and it's I don't even know what minutes I played in, 28, 27 and a half, and that's a minute and a half more than I played him. But I tried to leave him in a longer stretch, and that was my plan going in, was to get him in a couple pretty good stretches. So you know, it's an important few days for him as well, in terms of, you know, yeah, you gotta, you know, he's coming off an injury, but more importantly, we got to keep conditioning and keep growing that. And so yeah, it's a process.
Brian, and then
Coach, we've asked you a lot about Keaton. Obviously, there's different ways he's impacted the game, but just want to get your thoughts defensively on just the strides you've seen him make since he's come to campus.
Well, if you would have seen him in the Florida scrimmage, he was a human pinball. All he did was run in a screen, one right after the other, and you're trying to go through Condon and those guys, and you're not going to do that. He's gotten much better on the ball. He's very alert. He's got great length, so he's active. I think he's still got a long way to go off the ball in terms of just being in gaps and using that length to produce steals, get his hands on things, figuring out scouting reports. He's continuing to grow there, but the will to compete and really be a good defender, and at that size, you know, he doesn't get beat very often, and you know, again, he competes at a really, really high level. He doesn't want to take any possession off. He doesn't want to lose a sprint. He doesn't want to do any of that stuff in practice. So he's just that wired like that competitively.
How did you think Colgate's pressure on the perimeter defensively challenged some of your offense's abilities to just drive the basket and make plays within the paint?
Yeah, they were in the gaps. Once we started moving, you know, I thought we just over dribbled. I thought once we got the ball moving in the second half, we did a much better job getting the ball on the side and playing what we call a little side ball and creating some advantages. But we just stood and we didn't cut. We were really flat. Give them credit. But you know, we went from a team who never rotated and you survived in isolations to a team now who's in the gaps and raking it at every possibility. We didn't make those adjustments great.
Brad, you said this is kind of what you expected, both because the opponent and the emotion of Tuesday. So when you have this kind of, especially the veterans didn't perform at the highest level, how do you react to it? How do you move forward after a loss?
Yeah, I think we understand that not every game's perfect, but I think that it's a challenge to learn from. How much emotion plays in the game. I told them afterwards, you get 31 of these, you're guaranteed 31 or I guess 32 if you can, everybody's in the conference tournament now, but not many times. And to come do it in front of a sellout crowd and it's a privilege to do that, and we want to make the most of that. And almost always it carries over from practice. And it's the way you practice, it's the mental focus you have, it's not reading all your guys' stuff and the fans and everything else that I call it drinking the poison, and you can't. You've got to stay what's vital and what's important, and that's winning and losing, and you have to learn from it. But the game's pretty mental, and it's very much based on emotion. And we knew we were going to get a team that's they're good, and they were going to play very hard in front of a big crowd and try to show the world what they can do.
Right, going back to Keaton real quick, early in the game he had spins when they were attacking him when he turned his back. Didn't see that in the second half. Was that you guys, or is that just him making adjustments?
That's him. That's not us. I'm a big fan of it because he usually draws a lot of fouls when he does it. But other than the one he got tripped in the Texas Tech game and they called the foul, but he's just got a really creative mind in there, and that's just slow. He knows when to do it. He knows when not to. Not much I can take credit for with him, to be very honest. He just doesn't. He's just a very instinctive player that makes a lot of the right decisions. He made one really bad one on the baseline, which was a freshman mistake.
Coach, offensively, how much have you and Tyler had to adjust a little bit to the skill sets that you have on this club? Are we seeing a return of Booty Bowl to bring back a kind of a blast from the past a little bit?
I sure hope so. That was really good for us. We led the country most of the year that year until Donovan Clayton had got a hold of us. But it was. I think this team has a lot of skill set. I think we do some things in isolations much better than any team we've ever had. I think we proved that against Tech when you see a lot of switching. I think we can be really downhill, and I think that we've got multiple guys that can really post it. So at different positions. So yeah, we're always tinkering, and we'll have to keep working at that. And like I said, you don't Merck, and we haven't had Tommy yet, and that combination together, what that looks like. So it's just still an experiment.
And this will be our last one here.
With David now kind of just seeing what he can do when he, really applies himself on the boards, do you see him continuing to almost push himself ahead of the Alabama game, knowing it's a different stage, or do you think you're going to keep having to hammer him in practice a little bit more? Well,
he's got no choice in that. I'm going to keep hammering him. That's we've got to get Andre rebounding more. I thought that he's got to have some help. Everybody's going to try to hit him and block him out and put up those kind of numbers. He'll draw some attention, so it should open things up for others. And that's our deal, man. We got to rebound the ball. Got to rebound it.
Thank you.
Good luck to the football team tomorrow.